maybe I should dress like this. This what you want? You want me to be dressing like this? Can you explain the whole concept of why/when African men and women kind of jumped on the American bandwagon of speaking, dressing, and referring to African women as black queens and stuff? I kind of see Africans as mimicking or paralleling black culture and customs. It's kind of funny considering the history. I just don't fully get it. Growing up where I did, Africans always called themselves strictly Africans and were quick to say they weren't black. Now that we're popular and making money, Africans are black now. Was it always this way? Did you grow up identifying as black? Why the sudden shift? Was it just for money or was there more? I mostly just want to know because I was always taught that you never call Africans black, that they hated it. Now it seems like every African person is like, I'm black, let me get that opera money. I just want to know, sis, help me out. So today's video is about this comment I got in the comment section underneath this video, where this Nigerian man was asking why it offends some white women when, you know, African men or black men call black women queens. So I got this comment underneath that video. Was it just for money or was there more? First of all, are they giving people money because they are black? Because it's like the people that are sharing the money, they've not heard. Black here, black, blackity black. Who's sharing the money, please? Don't forget your girl. I mean, she's been black since she was born, since day one, you know. Day one black going on here. What does this even mean? Can you let me know down below in the comment section? Did any one of you get money because you say you are black? Is anybody getting money at all because you say you are black? I mean, it's quite interesting because, you know, some people are running away from blackness. Some people are now claiming blackness and it's a problem. I don't know. Is it a problem? I don't know, guys. Before I dive deep into responding to the questions in this video, there's a clip I want you guys to see.
One of the things that struck me, one of the comments you made, is that you didn't really think about race and racism until you left Nigeria and went to the United States.
Yeah. I wasn't black until I went to America. I really wasn't. I mean, in Nigeria, I didn't think of myself as black. I didn't need to think of myself as black. And even now, every time I go back home, because I split my time between the US and Lagos, and every time I get off the plane in Lagos, I don't think of race. I don't remember that I'm black. I think about many other things. In the US, I walk into a room, I'm immediately aware of how many black people are there.
Yeah.
I'm very, and I've learned in the US the nuances of race. When I first went, I didn't quite get it because, again, you know, Nigeria has many problems, but the idea of identity being based on skin color just doesn't exist. And not even that, because I often say that it's not, the problem isn't the skin, which, you know, I adore and find glorious. But the problem is other people's stereotypes that they've attached to it. And so when I went to the US, for example, I remember being in a class, and it was an English class, and it was the first paper we had written. And the professor came back in and said, who is Adichie? The Americans find it very difficult to pronounce my last name, Adichie. And so when I raised my hand, he said, this is the best paper that I've read. And he said, who is this? And I raised my hand and he looked surprised. And it was a very small, fleeting moment. But I remember at that moment thinking, and I'll never forget it, because I remember thinking, this is what race means in America. He doesn't expect the person who wrote the best paper to be black. And having come from Nigeria, where, you know, in Nigeria, each morning we have a glass of arrogant pride for breakfast. And so I remember thinking, how can he be surprised? Right? How dare he? But I think there might be a Nigerian here. Yep. You know what we're like. Yes, we're all brilliant. But, you know, that idea that you then want to separate yourself from it because you know it's negative. So for my first year in the US, I didn't want to be black. I didn't go to the Black Students Union because I was like, no, I'm not black, I'm Nigerian. I realize now, looking back, that even that is an indictment of American racism. It was my way of, if being black in America were benign, I would not have had that reaction. And then I started reading. And reading is just really my life's greatest consolation. And I read American history. I read African American history in particular, and suddenly my eyes were open. I just thought, my God, these things happened so recently, and this country seems, at least on the surface, not to be burning up. I think the unimaginable injustices that African Americans have experienced at the hands of the American state is something that I think the story hasn't been told fully.
Yeah. I agree.
So that was Chimamanda speaking. But for those of us who do not know who Chimamanda is, Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie is a Nigerian author. So like Chimamanda says, in Nigeria, in Africa really, black people are not black. So I'm Nigerian. In Nigeria, I am not a black person. I am just Ivie, Anita. So we don't identify with race here. We don't go to the bank and then the bank is asking to tick boxes of what race we are. Race is not a thing in Nigeria. It's not a thing in Africa. But then, of course, I can say the same thing about South Africa. For example, we don't read the newspaper and then something went down, probably a crime or something, and then they are describing the criminal and then they say, oh, he was a black dude, 6 feet tall, this and this. Like, race is just not a thing here. People are just walking around being people. They go by their name, they go by what they do, they go by if they're married. That's how we identify. We do not identify using race. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of story here about myself and how I knew about my blackness, because I did not know I was black. I did not know I was black till I was 18, 19. And this happened on the internet. That was how I knew I was black. I knew I was black from the internet. Okay, so this fateful day, I've always been someone who loves to surf the internet, who's always online reading. Don't give me an actual book, give me a PDF, because I'm not going to open an actual book. Never. So I've always been someone who's online reading, clicking here and there, always clicking and clicking. I just hope I never get into trouble clicking stuff in the future. This fateful day, I was reading online. I cannot remember what I was reading, but you know how you get those pop-up ads that will direct you to other sites. Let's just call it a pop-up write-up. Okay, so I clicked on it and then it took me to this page, and then for the first time in my life I was reading in English, but I could not understand. If you guys don't know, Nigeria's official language is English language. Yes, we have our own different tribal languages, but the official language of the country is English language. So we learn in English in school, we write exams in English. So I'm fluent in English. I've been speaking English since I was a baby. From like kindergarten, we've been learning in English. But then for the first time in my life, I was reading in English and I could not understand a word I was reading. This post was talking about race. I was seeing words like race, discrimination, stereotypes, words I've never seen before in my life. Yeah, shocking. I lived my life from 0 to 18, never hearing the word. When I was seeing those words being used in the post, I could not understand what the post was saying. And white supremacy, there was that as well. I had to go to Google, and then I had to start, Googling those words individually, and then come back to try and make sense of the post. And when I Googled for the first time in my life, I don't think I've ever been more confused at that point in my life when I Googled what meant. Of course, I knew they were black, Asian, and all that. Well, first of all, I didn't know that those people had like titles as well. I didn't know white people were called white people. I didn't know Asians were called Asians. I didn't know Hispanics were called Hispanics. I just see them on TV and I'm aware they look different from me, but it just wasn't something that was ingrained in my brain. They are different, they look different. I could see that they are different, but it wasn't ingrained in my brain. And I pretty much didn't care that they were different. I was just watching whatever I was watching on TV. After checking what race meant on Google, which I still did not understand because I could not make sense of it. Like, why would you hate someone based off of their skin color? I could not understand it. I went back to the post and then I tried to make sense of that post. I read that post, guys, for days, trying to understand it. And then eventually, slowly, I started understanding what they meant. Okay. So it started making sense. It started clicking. And then when it clicked, everything changed for me, guys. That was when I knew that there were some people that were called black, and I was one of those people. My whole family was one of those people. Basically all my friends and the whole of Nigeria and majority of Africa is, you know, those people that they tag black. And then I was like, and okay, so we are the ones that they hate. I'm like, why do they hate us? It just so happened that at the same time when I'm trying to process this information, I'm just finding out now about racism, which was a lot for me to process. It was weighing on me at the time. Still trying to process that information. Coincidentally, my dad came home this particular day. I mean, as the universe will have it, he came with the 4 parts of Roots, and then he made it compulsory that we're all going to watch Roots. So we sat down as a family, we watched Roots, all 4 parts of Roots, we watched Roots as a family. And then I became more aware of watching Kunta Kinte was how I got an idea of what the transatlantic slave trade actually was like. Back then in school, they didn't really go in depth teaching us about the transatlantic slave trade. What they told us was, yeah, it happened, but then it ended. So they didn't go in depth. I just thought, yeah, it happened, but thank God it came to an end. And now when I see African Americans on TV, I'm like, yeah, they're doing great. So I was judging how African Americans were living and doing off of TV. And when I saw them on TV, they look happy. Everybody looked like they were living together, black, white, Asian, and all that. I'm like, oh, it's a very colorful world. Everybody's happy there. I didn't know that something like all that were existing. So when I found out about the post, I was like, what is happening? What is this? So me trying to understand the posts, understand and who are, and trying to figure out exactly what's going on with the concept of hatred as regards to skin color and discrimination that has to do with skin color. I went down the rabbit hole reading, and I read a lot about African American history. So my story is quite similar to Chimamanda's story. Now fast forward to after finding out about my blackness, it was something I accepted immediately. So in the past, people were not aware of their blackness. Me finding out about my blackness a couple of years back the way I did is quite different from how people are finding out about their blackness now, because people are now more aware of and race and the different classes that exist, and now everybody knows exactly where they fall into. From Chimamanda's story, we can see that it goes, pretty aligned with these comments right here. When she went to America, she didn't know she was black. So when people call her black, she was quick to say how she's not black, say she's Nigerian or say she's African, because she doesn't understand the concept of blackness. But that changed for her when she got to know and understand the concept of blackness, and she went into reading. If we look at the time frame of when Chimamanda was going to America, and then at the same time, and even prior to that time, other Africans were going to America. They were all going not knowing they were black. So of course, when you tell them they're black or you call them black, they are going to tell you that they are not black because they are not black where they are coming from. But that's different now, because the concepts of blackness have traveled. Now Africans are more aware of their blackness. I mean, they are not as aware, but they are more aware. So somehow you just know that this is the group I fall under, the black group. But even though in your present environment like Nigeria, you're not walking around being black, you are aware that you are a black person. Now that we are popular and making money, Africans are now black. He's saying this to mean that Africans are claiming their blackness now because African Americans are now, making money and they have their style and all that. So we want to vibe into it. Like I said in the beginning of the video, we didn't know we were black. Okay, that was why we're not claiming blackness. We're like, what is black? Like, why would you say I'm black? I'm not black, I'm Vietnamese. I'm guessing that's exactly the kind of vibe that early Africans that were going to America would have been giving off. Because 16, 15-year-old me, if you had come and told me I was black, I'm going to be like, black how? First of all, look at me. Okay, this is a coincidence. I promise. This is a coincidence. I'm going to be like, black how? I'm not black. I'm Ivie Anita. Like, you understand? Like, probably that's going to be how they were reacting. They are going to probably tell, well, I'm not black. I'm Nigerian. So that's going to be the attitude of people that are not aware of the concept of blackness. We are not accepting blackness now because African Americans are now popular. It's crazy. You guys may not know, but you guys have been popular here. You guys have always been popular. Growing up, my dad used to listen to a lot of old school. I used to watch a lot of Tupac and Nelly. R. Kelly, can we still mention him? So you guys were popular here. Tina Turner, Michael Jacksons and the Jacksons. So you guys were pretty popular here. Yeah, if we want to claim blackness because of the popularity of African Americans, we would have been claiming it like from the 60s, 70s, 80s ago. We would have been claiming blackness because, like I said, you guys have always been popular here. We see your music, we know about your artists from, like, you know, the old times, the old schools. We know about those people and they were popular here. So we were not claiming blackness because we didn't know we were black, and we didn't know you guys were black either. We are claiming blackness now because we are black. We were black, but we didn't know we were black. But now we know we are black. We've always been black, but we just didn't know. But now that we know, we're like, okay, I guess, yeah, black it is. You understand? But then if you come to Nigeria, of course you're not going to see people asking you what race you are, or even though we are black and we are now aware that we are black, we are still not black in Nigeria. We are not identifying as black in Nigeria. We do not need to identify as black in Nigeria because, you know, it's a homogeneous nation and everybody is black. So you are not black here. You are just Ivie or Osazua or Eramosele or John or Peter. African men and women, referring to African women as black queens. He says that this to him is that mimicking and paralleling black culture and customs. We've always been referring to African women as queens. You are my African queen. So we call them African queens. Now we know that we are black. Now we identify as black. Now black queen is the same thing. I'm a bit confused. You guys should let me know down below in the comment section. Is calling an African person a black queen mimicking African culture? Is a black queen title an African American cultural title? Just jumping on the American bandwagon in regards to speaking and dressing. I don't know what it means by we speak like Americans. We speak like us. If you come to Nigeria, nobody speaks like an American here. So anywhere in Africa, go to Ghana, go to Togo, go to Congo, go to Chad, go anywhere, they're speaking like they usually speak. So I don't know what he means by the speaking. But when it comes to the dressing, you want me to be dressing like this? This is it traveled everywhere. So this is how pretty much everybody dress now. This is now the norm. Is this what it means by we dress like Americans? Because if this is what you mean, I guess I would say guilty as hell. I don't know how else I'm supposed to be dressing anymore. Am I supposed to be tying buba and wrapper? Is that what you mean? Maybe I should dress like this. I guess maybe as an African, you should dress like this now. This is what you want? Let me know down below in the comment section if this is what you want. Yeah, but my point is let me take this off. My point is westernization has traveled all around everywhere. Pretty much every continent is now all dressing like this. This is what I've traveled everywhere, and this is what everybody wear. So I don't know what you mean by the dressing American, jumping on the bandwagon and dressing American. And please, dear African brothers and sisters, please let me know down below in the comment section what country you are from and how and when you guys got aware of your blackness. I know you guys were not aware. You guys know, we did not know. Okay, so that's it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know down below in the comment section what you think, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.